Hello, good afternoon. This is Paul Cherry here, and I'm going to be doing a little demonstration, cooking demonstration about how to make rhubarb crumble. Now, what we're going to do is we'll be turning the camera around in due course. I'm going to be taking you through the various stages involved and what's required, and we'll have the camera turned around in just a second, and we'll talk about where we begin with this recipe. Right, so let's have a look at the main event, which is the rhubarb. Now, this is a rhubarb crown I've had in the garden for many years, and you need to, obviously it requires quite a bit of maintenance, sort of watering, and need to feed it nutrients and things over the years. And it's always come up with a nice crop of rhubarb for me. And while we're here, we'll have a quick look at what else we have in the garden growing. Runner beans, they're flowering now quite nicely, as you can see. Nice beautiful red flowers growing there. And just down here, my first attempt at growing, so I didn't get that many coming up, but we've got some, you see down here, these are radishes. Okay, radishes there growing. There's another one there. Perfect. Okay, so just cut some rhubarb fresh today, and we'll just go into the kitchen and we can take a look at what we'll be doing in there. Right, so what we have here is the rhubarb all washed and cut up into slices, okay, and obviously cut the leaves off one end and arranged with the root from the other, and it's just under 2 pounds of fruit that we've actually got here. Okay, so we'll just move on to the next stage. Okay, so that's the sauce I'll be using. There's a very small amount of water, you can see in there, very small amount of water in the bottom, because when this rhubarb actually begins to boil, all the juices will be released from the rhubarb, and it will end up cooking rather nicely. Right, so what I've done is I sprinkled some sugar onto the top of the rhubarb there. Okay, the amount you use is according to taste, whether you prefer sharper or sweeter for rhubarb crumble. I've learned with experience it's just nice, you just sprinkle it all over the top like that, and it should turn out quite tasty. Right, so I'm using a gas hob here, and I suppose I'm on about half power. And what I'm going to do is just wait till this rhubarb begins to boil up. The sugar on top will start to dissolve, okay. And then it usually takes about 20 minutes once it's boiling. And once the fruit has gone soft, then you'll have that ready to go into the crumble itself. Okay, so what we can see there, we've got a nice mixing bowl there ready, okay, and the make we've got there is called a gripstone. I mean, you can buy these from various sources, but a mixing bowl is best for you to have. Now, we'll move that a little bit closer, you can see what's going on. Please excuse any filming errors here, but try my best. First time using this. Right, so the first thing you're going to need is approximately 150 grams of flour. I've used plain flour. ,100 grams of butter. Okay, so 100 grams of butter. Lucky I've got some here, or margarine if it comes to a push. In fact, I've got just under 100 grams. So I'm going to be a little bit cheeky and put a bit of margarine in it. You can make this with margarine actually, it will affect the taste, but it is better with butter if you can butter. Okay, and on the measurements, I would say they're always approximate. I'd rather go on the generous side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut the butter up. So just move the mixing bowl ever so slightly, just for a moment. Now I find the margarine will mix up quite easily. That's quite flexible, so you don't worry about that too much. The butter I like to cut up into small squares. And if anybody's got a more easier way of doing this, fair enough, good on you. But for me, I find this is best, that suits me. Okay, so just cutting this butter up into little pieces. Doesn't take too long, so it's not really a difficult job to do. And all we're going to want to do is we want to evenly distribute the butter into the flour. Okay, so there we go. So we're now cut nicely. Right, so that's going to go into the mixing bowl. And mixing bowls back. And we're looking for approximately 85 grams of sugar, just regular granulated sugar. Okay, so we've got those ingredients ready to mix. So the crumble topping is quite a simple recipe, in that it's just a mixture of flour, butter and sugar. So we'll go over this again. We've got I had about 2 pounds of fruit, just under, 150 grams of flour, 100 grams of butter, 85 grams roughly of sugar. I tend to go a little bit generous on that, so what we need to do is we need to be mixing all this up together. So what you're doing is you're working the sugar, the butter and the flour all together. Now once this goes into, it's just so that you get these flour, butter and sugar all mixed up together nicely. and it'll be evenly so the butter will be evenly distributed around the crumble. When that cooks, that will melt and spread itself around a little bit better. Okay, so mix it in really well. It's going to take a few seconds, so sorry for spending a bit of time with this, but right, so once it's all mixed together well, we're getting to a point now where the crumble is nearly ready. Now we need to keep an eye on the fruit, because that's boiling away quite nicely now. Right, so just move the camera over here just a little bit. You can see into the saucepan there. That fruit is going quite nicely soft now. Boiling away quite nicely. Sorry about the bad camera work there. But that's doing quite nicely. Right, so we're going handheld now. You can see that's boiling away quite nicely now. The fruit is going quite soft. Right. Right, now the next stage of the procedure is to strain the fruit and get as much of that liquid out as possible. So what I've got here, I'm going to got this little jug, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to catch some of the liquid from the fruit. Now that fruit has gone nice and soft. Now the juice, you can actually use that for other things. When it cools down, you can even drink it. I've drank it before. So what we're doing is we're basically getting all of the moisture out of here. So really just pressing it down like so. Now once all the excess moisture is out, we are now ready to prepare the crumble. Right, so this crumble promises to be a monster, okay? It's going to be a monster crumble. See, I've got, this is made out of silicone, you'll buy these. Better than any kind of metal tray in my opinion. And all we're going to do is just spoon the fruit mixture into the cooking tray. Okay, so I've got as much of that out as I can. And just squash it down so it's evenly distributed. You can use one of these, like it's a spoon with lots of gaps in it there, makes it a little bit easier to do things. What we're going to do is we're going to use the a regular size spoon, for this now, just to put the crumble mixture onto the top of the fruit. Okay, so here we go. And again, you're trying to evenly put this over the top of the fruit. Now you can make apple crumble just as well, or even a mixture, or if they're in season, why not put some blackberries with it. Okay, so practically any kind of soft fruit can be used. With apple, it's nice to put a bit of cinnamon in with it for extra flavour, but this I find with rhubarb crumble, it's nice just to have it with the natural flavour of the rhubarb itself, and just that beautiful combination of the butter, margarine and sugar for the topping. Now, so we've made our crumble, and this is going to go into the oven for 35 minutes at 200 degrees. We'll just place this on you use any kind of tray, really, metal tray. And that's gone into the oven for 35 minutes, and then we'll see how we do. Okay, so we've made our rhubarb crumble, and we'll see how that turns out. Okay, so that's the lovely rhubarb crumble, all cut up there. See where some of the juice has seeped out to the top there. I'll be putting that somewhere to cool down. I know it sounds silly, but I'll put it in the microwave with it switched off just to cool down for a while. Then when it's cooled down a bit more, I'll put it into the fridge. But you can have this with ice cream, custard. Very, very nice. And that was quite easily made. And that was rhubarb from the garden. And for those of you who don't have a rhubarb patch, you can easily make this with apple. Maybe apple and blackberry, perhaps even plums in there. It's a fruit crumble, and it should be quite delicious. Okay, thank you very, very much for watching. If you like what you see, please press the like button and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell to be alerted to all future videos. Thank you very much, and bye bye.